Hey guys, it's Val, and welcome to the second season of my Relation Romantic Ship podcast, where I get to talk about questions relating to romantic relationships and learn about different tips that can help us young adults in order to foster the type of relationships that are long lasting. So for today's episode, I have a special guest with me, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi guys, my name is Joanna, and I'm a TikToker / YouTuber. I've been doing this for a year and a half now, and I'm 19 years old.
Well, Naesha, let's talk about it. What has been your experience dating?
Yes, it's been hard, honestly. When I was younger, I would go for guys that weren't Christian, thinking that I could, help them and change them. But once you grow up, you realize that that's not how it works.
So you were going after them bad boys, I see.
Exactly. Got it.
So why did you take it upon yourself to be the one to change them?
I have no clue. I think that comes from the idea of struggle love.
Struggle love. What is that?
Struggle love is basically, it's very popular in the Black community, where I don't know if you know Gucci Mane and Keisha Kayor.
I know who Gucci Mane is.
Okay, so he was in jail for like a very long time, and she held him down. And that's struggle love. You have to struggle, and at the end, you're gonna get that perfect romantic love, but you gotta go through a lot of things.
Okay, so how did that work out for you then?
It didn't work out. It really did not work out, because I realized that I'm nobody's therapist. It's not my job, I deserve love, and I deserve love without struggle, and we all do.
Okay, then, so what was those guys giving you that the nice guy wasn't giving you?
Honestly, I don't know. Looking back at it now, I'm like, why did you even go for that? Because it was guys that didn't have nothing going for themselves. So honestly, I really could not answer your question. Because
okay, then, so are you saying that when you were going after those type of guys, there were no other type of guys, like the good guys, that were coming after you?
I had a lot of good guys, but I think at that moment, like during my teenage 16, 17, 18 years, I was like, no, I want the bad boys. I want the drama. That's what I wanted.
Okay, then, so fast forward to now. What are some things that you wish you had done earlier when it comes to like dating and choosing?
Honestly, I think I'm very happy with where I am right now, because I dated the bad boys. I dated good boys sometimes, so I think I have everything I need now. So if I meet a man and he's like the one, I'm gonna be able to really handle the relationship correctly, because I've been through so much with all type of guys.
Okay, then, so you said something about if you meet a man and he's the one, then you will know. So what is the one? What's your type? Let's talk about that. How would you know if the one came up to you and you'd be like, yep, that's the one?
I always pray to God, asking him to send me a tall, handsome man of God. Okay. So, but then again,
how tall?
Tall, I'm talking about 6 foot and up. 6 foot and 6 feet.
Of course.
Yeah, and I think the problem with Christian girls, especially, is that whenever we hear that a guy is Christian, we're like, he's the one. Baby girl, no. And I was like that. Every time somebody told me they're Christian, I was like, oh my gosh, that's my husband, the man of my dreams. And sometimes it's really not.
So the question is, to you, what exactly is a Christian man?
A Christian man is, my definition, what I want in a Christian man is someone that fears the Lord. Because a lot of people call themselves Christians, but their behavior, the way they act, that does not reflect Christ. So what I really want is a man that fears the Lord and that loves God, honestly.
Okay, so let's say that one of your girlfriends was to ask you like advice on what they should look for in a man. So give us some more. So what would you tell them to look for in a potential partner?
I think respect would have to be number one, because if a man doesn't respect you, it's not gonna work. And then I would say a man that can communicate, because a lot of guys nowadays, they don't know how to communicate. They want to be tough and cold-hearted, and no, we're not doing that.
Okay, so what does respect looks like then from a man?
Respect?
Yeah.
Respect is someone that respects your boundaries, someone that respects you as a person, the way they talk, the way they treat you,
most of guys nowadays are
cold-hearted. They want to act tough, cold-hearted, like I'm a gangster, that type of.
And you guys don't like that?
I mean, you can have a little hood side to you, but you still gotta be able to look at me sometimes and be like, yo, I love you,
Wow. Okay, so what is so attractive about the hood side though? That's what I don't get.
I think it's just, honestly, I don't know. Maybe
so
it's
why do you like it?
I think it's because you're like, oh my gosh, he's hood, he can protect me or whatever. It's the masculinity.
So it's the masculinity that you like.
Exactly.
Okay then, so let's say that such a guy was to appear in front of you. What should make him choose you over all these other girls?
Honestly, I know what I bring to the table. I know that for my age, I am very, very stable. And I mean, honestly, he can choose whoever he wants to choose. If I'm even
no, you though. Why should he choose you?
If I'm the type of person, like my motto is, if you gotta choose between me and her, choose her, because I'm not gonna be no one's plan B, no one's second option. No, I know what I bring to the table.
What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table though?
What I bring to the table is I'm 19 years old and I don't have my life figured out, but I work, I go to school, I'm about to graduate college, and I have my businesses on the side. Like personality wise, like I'm a dope person to be around.
What does a good, respectable Christian girl looks like? And what is her role in a Christian man's life? From everything, from physically and spiritually and mentally, etc.
Okay, physically, of course, as Christians, we have to be modest. So, you can't just be walking around butt naked, showing off your body.
You can't?
I mean, to a certain extent, like I'm pretty comfortable in my body. Like you'll see a stomach here and there, but you still got to keep it modest. So that would be physically. Now, spiritually, you have to pray for your man. You have to pray for your man. You have to encourage him. If he's also Christian, you have to encourage him to go to pursue Christ, to get right with God, do your Bible study and all of that. And mentally, I would say just be there for him, listen to him, try to understand. We all have trauma, and you have to understand someone's trauma to understand why they act a certain way, Yeah.
How important is look and sexual attractiveness in a Christian relationship?
I think it is important, but it's not all about looks.
Then what is it about?
It's about your personality, really, because honestly, I would rather be with someone that's considered ugly or that I'm not because no, but someone who's maybe not the prettiest person and that's gonna treat me well, respect me, than someone who's like so handsome, but then he treats me like crap. He, like it's pretty important, but to a certain extent.
Have you ever been in love?
I don't think I have.
So what is love to you?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I'm at this point in my life where I'm trying to figure out what is love. Like honestly,
have you ever loved somebody?
I have had love for a lot of people, a lot of friends, exes. I have love for you, but been in love, I don't think so.
I mean, so then if the guy that you describe came to you and say, I love you, then how would you know he was sincere then? How would you know he loves you?
Actions and words, they go together. So if your words match your actions, I feel like you're being truthful, you're sincere. But if you're saying you love me and you treat me like crap and the relationship is toxic, then your words don't count because your actions are not a reflection of your words.
So at this point in your life though, what are you looking for? Are you looking to be single? Are you looking to date for fun? Or are you looking to date to marry?
I'm single right now and I'm dating to marry. But right now, as of right now, I'm not dating because I feel like in the past I've lowered my standards a lot because I was like, I'm asking for too much. But then I see
what were you asking for?
I'm just asking for a man that you know, what I bring to the table, you have maybe not the same, but you bring as much, you know, because I'm a whole package. I'm
Okay,
top
then,
tier.
let's play this game. How tall must the guy be?
6 feet and above. That, yeah.
Do you want him to have a six-pack?
No, it's not. No, the 6'5". No, I can go without.
How many zeros behind his bank account? 6 figures?
I mean, I'm 19, so I mean, if you're like between 20 or 25, I don't expect you to have 6 figures, but at least 4 or 5.
So you want a guy that's making at least how much a year?
A year? At my age, I would say between.
What, do you want a guy at your age, or do you want a guy that's older than you? If
I
so,
need older
how old?
guy, but like around 23, 24.
Okay, so how much money would you be willing to accept a guy to be making at that age for you to take him
Honestly,
seriously?
I've never really thought about money because, I mean, it's not the most important thing in the world, but at least, you know, be stable. Like you're able to pay your bills, pay your gas. Like if you want to get a haircut, you're able to pay for your things. If we go out, you have money to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like the number doesn't really matter. Just be able to provide for yourself and for me every now and then, because I can do the same for him.
Okay then. So let's talk about like marriage though.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want a traditional marriage or a modern day 50-50 type of marriage?
What is a traditional marriage? What do you mean?
You know, the one that your grandparents had in Haiti, you know, that type of marriage where your grandpa worked and your grandma stayed at home, cooked, took care of the kids, took care of his husband, of her husband. Or you have the modern 50-50 where you work, he works, you pay half the bills, he pay half the bills, and no one really leads the relationship. You guys have that quote unquote partnership.
Yeah, I want a modern marriage, definitely, because
why?
I'm not meant to be a stay-at-home person, mom. I come from my mother, she raised me as a single mother. We're like a certain moment, a certain part of my life. So that's all I have, like, for example. And she's so independent. So I grew up to be so independent. So I can't just stay at home, depend on my husband. No, we're both gonna work. We're both gonna pay bills. And
just
that's how
you grew up that way doesn't mean you have to stay that way though.
No, it doesn't mean I have to stay that way, but because
why
of
do you want to stay that way though?
I want to, because I think independent girls are underrated, really underrated.
How so?
Because
how does your independence add to the relationship?
Because I think guys like girls who depend on them. Girls that are always gonna ask, you know, can I go there? Can you lend me money for this? No.
Okay, that's so if guys like that, why shouldn't you try to be what guys want?
No,
if you
because
want to be picked.
I'm not a pick me. If you don't want to pick me, that's fine. That's correct. Someone will pick me, you know?
So what is wrong with being interdependent on a guy though? What's wrong with that?
Because I think you should be able to provide for yourself. You don't need a man for nothing. Don't you think?
Question. Do you believe that girls don't need no man and you can do everything by yourself, for yourself?
I do think that men and women need each other, only because as a Christian, you know, God created Adam and then he created Eve. It's for a purpose, you know? But I don't think that it's something, some people live their whole entire life being single and they're completely fine. Of course, maybe you have something missing in your heart, but I don't think you absolutely need a man to be happy and to live a happy life.
Okay, so do you think you have the gift of singleness?
I don't. I know I don't.
Do you want it?
I don't want it.
Why don't you want it? You can be single and independent, you know?
Yes, I could, but I don't want to. I want to be independent, but in a relationship still.
Okay, so you say that you think that most guys want a girl that is dependent on them.
Yeah.
But why is that a bad thing?
It's not, honestly, it's not that it's a bad thing. I just think that you should be able to provide for yourself. And have you ever seen those true crime documentaries where the girl was depending on her husband, and let's say he cheated and she wanted to leave, but she didn't have the money to leave. And then when he realized that she was planning to leave, he killed her. That's because you depend on the man. You don't need to depend on the man. You need to have your own money so that if you want to get up and go, you can do so. And you can be able to live by yourself, pay your bills, pay your food, and all that.
What do you think is the reason why most marriages don't last in modern day society?
I think it is because people have normalized cheating. And to me, I mean, that's bad, because cheating is not part of a relationship. It's not part of the ups and downs. And I really think that's the reason why relationships don't last. Because of cheating.
So people have normalized cheating, so they have made it okay?
I mean, it's not okay in my eyes, but they're trying to make it okay, if that makes sense.
But then again, that would, if people were trying to make it okay, then relationship would not end. Because people would just be like, it happens, and they would keep on going with the relationships. But the fact that the relationships are ending, that's proof that it is not okay. So there must be something else that has caused the downfall of relationships. What do you think that is?
Maybe there's something else, but the only thing I can think of right now is cheating, because men cheat a lot. I'm not saying women don't cheat, but men cheat a lot. Women stay, but then at one point
they do
get tired, and then they leave.
Because the statistics say that women end marriages at a 70% rate, 70% higher than men. So you guys are the one leaving, not us.
Okay.
So why?
I have no clue. I don't know.
So how come before, in the olden days, no matter what happened, relationships lasted, but now we can do it? Ever since like the 1950s, 1960s, relationships have been on the downhill slope. We can keep relationships, but before that, our great-grandparents, they were able to have relationships last for their entire lifespan, even if there was cheating and etc. So what did they have that we don't have?
Honestly,
what changed?
That's a very good question. I think cheating is a part of it, but also I would say the fact that we all want to be cold-hearted. We don't want to express feelings, and it's like it's not cool to care.
What do you think of modern day hookup culture?
Like the one night stands and all that?
Yeah, one night stand, it's just for the night. What do you think about that? What effect do you think that has had on relationships? And is that something that you support or participate in or encourage?
I don't participate in it, and I don't really support it because it's not even safe. It's not safe because you don't know the person, you don't know their history. STDs are real. You can get pregnant. I just think it's like a terrible idea to have a one night stand. And so I don't support this. I don't.
Okay, so but then again, when it comes to like relationship wise, I hear girls complaining a lot. They can't find a good guy. Guys cheat all the time. Guys only loyal. All guys want is sex. But then again, guys control access to relationships. You control access to sex. So is it guys' fault that we are getting sex? Or is it you guys' fault that you guys are opening up yourself to us?
You're
and
absolutely
then you guys
right.
getting heartbroken.
That's right.
So what should you guys do? So how do we fix that then?
Women are part of the problem because yes, you keep complaining about, oh, he don't only want me for my body, he only wants this, he's gonna cheat, whatever, but that's what you give to him. That's what you bring to the table, honestly.
Question, what do you think about body count? Should me as a guy judge a girl based off her body count?
I mean, honestly, it says a lot about someone, but then again, like it's your body. You give your body to who you want to give it to, and it's not my place to judge you. But
no. I am the guy. I am looking at you to marry and have a serious relationship with. So do I have the right to judge you based off your past sexual experience?
I think you have the right to judge me. You have.
So why do girls lie about their body count then?
I think that's the reason why, because they don't want guys to judge them. based off their.
So they recognize that it's bad. Why is it bad?
I think they do realize that they know it's bad because.
In your opinion, why is it bad?
It's bad. I mean, it's just because, like, are you really giving away your body to all these people for free for what? So people you're not even in a relationship with. It's kind of like.
Question. Why do you think guys don't commit?
Why guys don't commit?
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of reasons why guys don't commit. Number one, I think guys like to have a lot of options. They like to keep their. They like to have a lot of women. You know, I can go
question.
to Keisha today.
Between you and me, who do you think will have the most option for relationships?
I think we could both have a lot of options. Why?
If you hop on a dating app and I hop on the same dating app in the same city, you and I, who do you think will have the most matches by the end of the week?
I think I would.
Why?
But I don't know, it's something about boys. I don't know what it is, but I think it's easier for a girl to now that you're saying this, I realize that it's easier for a girl to have a lot of options than for a guy, I feel like, but I don't know why. That's just how I feel.
Because you have something that we don't, that we want.
That's right.
Okay, have you ever heard of hypergamy?
No.
Hypergamy is the idea that women only date across and up, physically, socially, and financially, status-wise. That means that, like you right now, if you have a business, the guy that you are going to date, you want him to have either a business too, make about the same money as you do, has about the same type of social status as you do, or more. Where guys, we date across and down. That means we don't need you to have more money than us. We don't need you to be more prettier than us. We just need you to be as much money or less. So that means that you girls are always looking for the top 20% of guys, while us guys always get the, you know, we all of us are looking at the 80% of you, but the 80% of you is looking at 20% of guys. So this creates an imbalance. So that's why you girls are always, there's more option for you guys because we all looking at you. But the thing is, none of you guys want us.
Yeah.
You guys want that specific type of guy that is tall, handsome, six-pack, six figures, you know, that thing.
Yeah.
So, and then you wonder why we don't commit. It's not that we don't commit. The one that you are choosing are not committing because they have a plethora of you to choose from. However, the guys that would commit, you don't even look at.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So now in your life, would you say that is something that you have done? Thinking about it now, you've seen yourself done. You've only went after a typical type of guys that would be considered that top 20% that most other girls would want to go after, while you ignored all the other guys.
I would say no for my teenage years. No, I was acting like the guys. I would go for people that had less than what I had. But now that I'm a changed person, and you know, with life experiences, you go through things, and I've learned, I will say that I go for guys that have more or just like me. You're right.
Okay then, so let's talk about feminism. What do you think has been feminism's role in dating? Do you think that it has helped relationships, or it has been a hindrance to long-lasting relationships?
I would say both, because I think a lot of girls nowadays, they use feminism as a reason, as an excuse for not doing, let's say, I don't want to cook and clean. I'm a feminist, you know, we're both, which is true, we can both cook and clean. You know, it also goes with independence, like girls want to be independent and all that. And some girls
sounds like somebody I know. Oh yeah, keep going.
some are taking it a little bit too far, and I think that's a problem in a relationship.
Do you submit to your man, or are you dominant to your man in a relationship?
I would say I submit, because I know that guys love to be like, I want to wear the pants, I'm the guy. But sometimes it'd be hard. Like sometimes I do want to tell my man, like, shut up, no, I'm gonna do it. But just for his, sometimes I shut my lips.
Okay, to you then, what is submission? And is your definition the same as everybody else? Because when I tell girls, do you submit to them, your men, they say no. So what is the true meaning of submission? And how can that definition be acceptable to women?
It really depends, because I know some Christian people, the definition of submission is that, like, if your husband says go do this, you go ahead and do it. Like you're like a child. Some like the extreme Christians, like that's how they think. But for me, submission is more like, you know, let's say just driving, a simple thing like driving. I know guys don't really like when a girl is driving, so I'm just gonna let you drive all the time when we go out, because that's, you know, that's an example of submission in my book. So it's not really submission where you're like, go do this and I'm gonna go do this. If you tell me don't go out, I'm not gonna go out.
Can you have a relationship without sex?
I think that should you? Honestly, it's kind of a tough question, because I think you can when you've never experienced it. Because if you don't know how it feels, if you don't know it feels good, you're not really gonna care, because you don't even know. But if you've ever had it before and now you're with someone that does not want to have sex before marriage or whatever, now you're gonna feel maybe like a hole, because you're gonna be like, damn, I can't do it.
Okay, so for you, sex before or after marriage?
For me, just with the right one. I don't know, just the right one.
So before marriage or after marriage?
Because I mean, I was planning on waiting, but if it happens, it happens, you know?
No. Yes. What do you want?
After is what I'm looking for.
Okay.
But
okay, so are you saying that you need to test drive the guy before you decide if he's good enough in bed for you?
I mean, I might be wrong, but I think like you can get better with experience. You can get better. Like, you know, if I find someone that loves me for me, I love him for him, and we're just so good together, like I'm not just gonna leave him just because of that.
Okay then, so what would you say are the dangers of having sex before marriage?
I honestly believe in soul ties, and some people, you think they're good for you, but they're not. And then when you have sex with them, so this is where soul ties happens. And then soul ties is just so hard to get rid of. I've read stories. Yeah, it's crazy.
So okay, so basically you're basically saying that you shouldn't have sex with your significant other until you guys get married, because the connection that happens when two people have sex is not something that should happen outside of a marriage, because it's meant to bind you guys together, right?
Well, kind of, but yeah, you can put it that way.
So I'm still don't think you're sure if you want them to do it or not. What would you do?
Because soul ties is like something, it's like one of the cons. But then again, if you feel like you're ready and if you feel like you just want to have sex, like go ahead and do it.
So what do you think are some benefits of having sex before marriage?
Soul ties are the negative of the bonding, but I think some people say that once you grow closer to that person because of that, and I don't doubt it. And pleasure, I think pretty much. Pleasure and the connection gets deeper.
Okay, let's talk about the idea of being unequally yoked in a relationship when it comes to like your religious beliefs. For you, would you date or marry a guy that is not Christian?
I personally wouldn't, only because I want the person I'm with to share the same beliefs as me. Because, you know, like, I'm a Christian, so when I have problems, I mean, every time I always pray, I talk to God. And if I'm with someone that doesn't care for God or all that, it's gonna get annoying, because she's always in her Bible, she's always listening to gospel. It's gonna get annoying, and I want my significant other to share that with me. Like, let's pray together, let's go to church together, you know?
If he's not those things with you, can the relationship still works, or do you think that's going to create unnecessary problems that could have been avoided?
It's gonna create problems. It's gonna create problems.
What else? Okay, so if you were giving advice to the younger version of you when you were dating, what are some advice that you would give to the younger version of you, all the young ladies that are listening to you right now?
I would say that you can't change a man. You can't make him change. If he wants to change, he's gonna do it for himself. You, as a person, he's not gonna change for you. And stop going after guys that's because you see the potential in him. No, we're not looking for potential. We're looking for actual. Yes.
Not.
Yes.
So then how would you be able, earlier you said that you would accept a 20-year-old, something like 24, 22-year-old guy if he was stable and he had the potential to become greater. Isn't that what you said?
Yes, but when I say don't accept, we don't do potentials, I'm talking about, let's say you're dating a guy, he doesn't go to school, he doesn't work, he has nothing going for himself, but he tells you like, I'll go to work, I'll try to look for a job, I'll go to school next semester. No, because that's potential. Because when a guy is like that, you see the potential in him. You see like, okay, he's gonna graduate, he's gonna get a job, but most of the time they don't. They're just feeding you dreams.
Guys lie. They sell you the dream while women wear makeup.
We wear makeup or like, yes.
So basically, we deceive you with our words.
And we deceive with our looks.
Yes.
Yes, I do believe in that. Yeah. Because some girls is just, it's shocking. It's really shocking the way that you look, and it's an equivalence.
Okay, so let's say that like you had like a younger brother. What are some advice that you would give guys nowadays? Something that could help them make better decisions when it comes to women, and be a part of the solution that helps create and foster those long-lasting committed relationships.
I would say to be honest with girls, because girls, sometimes we tend to like have an imaginary boyfriend. You think you're married, you think he feels this type of way about you because he does certain thing, but then he does not. So I would say be very honest and let them know, because some women think that because you give them a hug, you're together. No. If you're not looking for something serious, if you don't want to be with her, let her know.
All right then. Well, thank you so much, Naesha, for coming on today's podcast. Thank you for all those insights that you have given us. So if somebody that is watching right now would like to check out your TikTok, your YouTube videos, your Instagram, and etc., where can they go to find you? What are your handles?
You can follow me on all social media platforms at Naesha Joanna.
All right then, and don't worry guys, and I'll be putting her YouTube, Instagram, TikTok link in the description of the episode so that you guys can go ahead and check her out. For further ado, any last words that you want to say?
Thank you so much for having me, and keep doing your thing. It's really amazing.
All right then. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.
Bye.